Welcome back everyone to the Hello World, guys. This is another episode of the Asteroids game in C++ series, and in this video I originally planned to kind of make a start making the physics and collision detection systems of our game, but with the way we have got our code organized it would be a nightmare to do that. So instead, in this video what we are gonna do is that we'll first of all organize our code in a better manner by splitting it up into different files and stuff. So that's what we are going to do in this video. So in order to start with that, let's go under the solution explorer, right click on this, and I'm going to add a new item. We are going to just make it a header by default, and we are going to call this actually we are not going to call this anything. We are not going to make a header. Instead we are going to create a direct class which we will call asteroid. Let's start with the asteroid class. Now I'm going to say add, and we are going to just create that class like it does. Actually it does cause some problem because asteroid class is already created. So let me just go down here. We are going to select all of our asteroid class, like the whole code of it, and we are going to cut that. Now we are going to save it and go here, right click, add a new class, and let's call this asteroid. So asteroid, like that, and we are going to hit OK, and just wait for a little while, and you can see that it has created the asteroid class for us here. Now you can actually go ahead and paste the whole of this here. You can just go ahead and paste that, and you can see that it does give a lot of errors about different things, and the reason for that is that of course it's not currently correctly implemented, and we have got all of this, but this is not how we want this to be. So I'm going to, first of all, let's go ahead and create another class called entity, because we want to be able to access the entity parent class from the asteroid class. For that we'll separate that into a file as well. We only need a header file for entity, so we'll right click, add a new item, and we'll choose the header file and choose entity as the name of the header file. So we'll create an entity.h here and paste this like that, and you can see it's giving us a bunch of errors. You can just include sfml slash, let's just include sfml slash graphics.h, actually graphics.hpp, and that will include everything that we need. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And in here we are going to go here and hashtag include, and we are going to include entity.h, and that will include automatically the sfml stuff as well, and basically every dependency in our asteroid class, and now it works quite well. Of course the constants are not present. We are going to select all of this and cut that, and for each individual entity we are going to keep the relevant constants in that particular header file. We don't need them to be anywhere else. Alright, we are going to do that, and that is pretty cool, but you can see that screen width and screen height are some constants that need to be present everywhere. So I'm going to add in a new header file, actually not an existing item. Right click and add a new item which is going to be a header file, which we will call let's call it global, because it will represent like the global stuff of our game. So we'll go under here, and I will copy that, all of the constants that are general and supposed to be used everywhere, and let's paste those here like that. And in our asteroid.h we are going to also include let me go here, and yeah, we are going to also, along with entity.h, we are going to include global.h as well. So include global dot h, like that, and with that we can say that yeah, that's we have got like everything included here. And of course random is not included, so we'll need to include that, but we don't actually include this here. Instead, let's separate that into a cpp file. So I'm going to cut all of this, and basically like that, and we are going to create an implementation of this inside of asteroids.cpp. And now we can just paste this here and save that, and you can see that yeah, that means that we have got our asteroids.cpp completely done here. And you can see we have also got an update function, and let's go ahead and cut the whole body and then put this here. And once it asks us to create a new definition, we will create that, and then we'll replace the body with what we have right now. Alright, and now let's do similar things for the remaining function. First of all, we'll do it for render. We'll cut the body, and we'll wait for it to kind of allow us to generate the automatic definition, and we'll do that similarly for each function present here. Now that basic thing we have implemented for Asteroid, I have implemented all of the methods separately, and I have already done the bullet and player classes, but you can see that the problem is that now we are in a separate file and no longer have access to remove list entities or any of that. Similarly in our player it also gives us error regarding that, and of course in our main file it also gives us a bunch of errors. Now we are going to create another class called game, which will basically be a static class which we'll use for essentially storing our whole game as a static state, and this is one way to do it, and there are a bunch of different kinds of patterns that you can use to achieve this similar thing, but we are going to do it this way just to make things a lot easier, and since our game is pretty simple, let's just implement it like that. Now the declaration of the stuff like entities and stuff, I'm going to remove from here and make them variables in the game class, but these are going to be static variables, include the appropriate headers of course, and let's make these static. Now because they are static, we also need to kind of actually define them inside of the CPP file like that, so we'll just copy and paste that, but we will define them as game : entities and to remove list, etc, etc. And after that we will start to implement some methods, but before you do that, do note that all you need to do now is that when you are doing to add list, etc, you just use game : and include the game header. So inside of player I'm going game : to add list, and inside of bullet.cpp we are also going game : to remove list and game : entities. Now that's pretty awesome. And now in game.h we are going to remove these because the initializer lists are not allowed for static variables inside of the class, and we are going to create a static void begin and another one called update which takes a delta time. And in asteroids.cpp we are going to remove all of the extra code that we have got here, and the only thing we'll do is include game.h, and then we'll say game : begin in the start, and in the between we are going to say game : update. And yeah, we'll actually in the update function we are going to pass it a window as well, but we'll do that later. First let's generate the implementation of this function inside of here. For the begin function we are going to only include, by the way, asteroid and player.age, and we are going to put in new player and set our asteroid spawn time correctly. So this needs to be actually a variable. We'll create a private variable called asteroid spawn time, and we'll also take a render window as an argument in the update function, so that we can actually provide it here. And the reason we need to do that is of course because we are handling the rendering here as well. Anyways, inside of game.h you can see that we have got this here, which means we need to actually define this variable as well inside of this, and then we can just set it directly instead of declaring it. Now we'll also implement the update function, and we'll copy paste all of the code from the asteroids.cpp file, and also make sure that we take the render window as an argument, and yeah, that works correctly. And also initialize it to 0 by default, so we don't really need to do that. We are doing it in begin, but it's a good idea to always initialize everything. So with that we can see that we have got a pretty much our game divided into many different files, and every one of those is like in its own module, and we can kind of define them on their own, and our game still runs in a way similar to what it did before. But this allows us to kind of have a more organized code base, and in the next video we can use this organized code base to easily implement the collision detection and different kinds of functionalities. So we'll do that in the next video. Make sure to stay tuned for that, and like and subscribe as well, because you do not want to miss that one. And I'll see you in the next one, and bye.